Good morning and welcome to Take Your Life Back with Ralf Friedrichs. Today we're going to talk about alcoholic neuropathy, numbness and number, or number and number. This is about what alcohol does to your nerves, how alcoholism and alcohol will destroy your nerves. Slowly but surely, it's a slow process and a painful process. But as always, today is show 8 of my 31 promises to make in a lifetime by Joel Osteen. So today's my 8th promise for show 8. It reads as follows. I declare God's dream for my life is coming to pass. It will not be stopped by people, disappointments, or adversities. God has solutions to every problem I will ever face already lined up. The right people and the right breaks are in my future. I will fulfill my destiny. This is my declaration. Let me repeat that once more. I declare God's dream for my life is coming to pass. It will not be stopped by people, disappointments, or adversities. God has solutions to every problem I will ever face already lined up for me. The right people and the right breaks are in my future. I will fulfill my destiny. This is my declaration on show 8 for the 31 shows that I made promises to fill. And this is based on I declare 31 promises to make in your lifetime. Show 8, the 8th promise. Today, again, we are going to address what is alcoholic neuropathy. Nerves can and will be damaged due to alcoholism. It is therefore very important that we look out for these signs. But, it all really starts is when we actually stop drinking or doing drugs. As usual, I want to shout out to Dr. Luis Gonzalez from Starting Point. He is at www.startingpointmn.com. That's startingpointmn.com. The MN stands for Minnesota. You can also reach him at 844-414-8444. Dr. Luis Gonzalez has two sides of his business. The first side is being an addiction recovery coach. He will walk with you day by day, step by step, from addiction to recovery. He will never ever talk about your past. He is not a therapist or a counselor. He is an addiction recovery coach, as am I. He also, on this other side of the business, can turn you into an addiction recovery coach. If you have the 3 Ps, I call them, or Dr. Luis Gonzalez calls them, the passion, personality, and professionalism, and you have some sort of addiction in your background, he can help make you an addiction recovery coach. But it all starts with a phone call. It starts with 844-414-8444. Go to his website and read all about the good stuff he has at www.startingpointmn.com. That's startingpointmn.com. Also, my websites. My first one is called clearviews.info. That's CLEARVIEWS.info. Clearviews.info is purely information on addiction and recovery. It is the 411 of information for addiction and recovery. You will find articles written by doctors, psychologists, psychiatrists. You will find over 215 of my shows, of my episodes, of my videos for you. All this information is put together for people like you and for people like me that needs daily educating on alcoholism and drug addiction. My other website is called Clear Reform. That's CLEARREFORM.com. Clear Reform is like what Dr. Luis Gonzalez does. I am an addiction recovery coach. I will help you take your life back day by day, 24 hours at a time. I also will never ever look into your past. You can reach out to either clearviews.info or clearreform.com or both, but you got to understand both my websites start with the word clear. Clear stands for Community Lessons Empower Addiction Recovery. I made that name up, not the word clear itself, but what it stood for back in 2013 when I finally hit rock bottom. What is alcoholic neuropathy? Alcohol can be toxic to the nerve tissue. People who drink too much may start to feel pain and tingling in their limbs. This is known as alcohol neuropathy. In people with alcohol neuropathy, the peripheral nerves have been damaged by too much alcohol use. Peripheral nerves transmit signals between the body and the spinal cord and the brain, which is pretty important when the brain gets damaged like that. Thiamine, folate, niacin, vitamins B6, B12, and vitamin E are all needed for proper nerve function. Drinking too much can alter levels of these nutrients and affect the spread of alcohol neuropathy. Fortunately, abstaining from alcohol can help, so it's never too late, restore nutritional health. This may improve your symptoms and help prevent further damage. Causes of alcoholic neuropathy. Your peripheral nerves help your body manage important sensory and motor function, including bowel and urinary elimination, walking, sexual arousal, arm and leg movement, and speech. Alcoholic neuropathy is the result of damage to these nerves. The damage may be the direct result of long periods where you drank too much alcohol. Nutritional problems linked to alcohol use can also cause nerve damage. Symptoms of alcoholic neuropathy. Alcoholic neuropathy can affect both movement and sensation. Symptoms range from slight discomfort to major disability. Although the condition is not life-threatening, it can decrease your quality of life. Some areas of the body affected by alcohol neuropathy include the following: arms and legs. I'll break it down. Numbness, tingling and burning, pricky sensations, muscle spasm and cramps, muscle weakness and atrophy, loss of muscle functioning, movement disorders, urinary and bowel. Break it down. Incontinence, constipation, diarrhea, problems starting urination, feeling the bladder hasn't emptied fully. These are other effects: sexual dysfunction, impotence, impaired speech, difficulty swallowing, heat intolerance, particularly following exercise, vomiting and nausea, dizziness or lightheadedness. If you have neuropathy symptoms, call your doctor. Early diagnosis and treatment may make it more likely to be able to recover from it. Diagnosis of alcohol neuropathy. Your doctor will need to examine you to diagnose this condition. It is important to share any history of alcohol use to get an accurate diagnosis. However, your doctor will still need to rule out potential causes for these symptoms. Tests which may identify other potential causes of neuropathy include nerve biopsy, nerve conduction tests, upper GI and small bowel series, neurological examination, electromy, esophagoscopy, kidney, thyroid, and liver function tests. Blood tests can also look for vitamin deficiency that are linked to both nerve and health. Folks, it's 5:30 in the morning. Very early to start reading some of these big words, don't you think? Nutrients your doctors might test for include niacin, thiamine, folate, vitamins B6 and B12, biotin and pantothenic acid, vitamins E, vitamins A. Treatment for alcoholic neuropathy. The most important thing you can do to treat this condition is to stop drinking. Not just for that purpose, but for you to live longer. Therefore, treatment may first focus on problems with alcohol use. For some people, this may require inpatient rehab, which we'll talk about later. Others may be able to stop drinking with outpatient therapy or social support, which we'll also talk about, such as AA. Once alcohol use has been addressed, doctors can focus on neuropathy itself. Symptom management is important. However, nerve damage can also make it difficult for a person to carry out functions of daily life. It may even make injuries more likely because your immune system is so damaged too. What is alcoholic neuropathy? Alcohol can be toxic to nerve tissue. People who drink too much may start to feel pain and tingling in their limbs. If you're a drinker or addicted to drugs, you ever get that tingling? My biggest problem when I used to drink a lot is shaky. I remember I was filling out a form one time, and my hands were shaking. I was embarrassed because somebody was watching me, and of course, I tried to control it, but it's beyond control, just like numbness. This is not when you start feeling the tingling in your limbs. This is known as alcoholic neuropathy. And people with alcohol neuropathy, their nerves have been damaged by too much alcohol use. The nerves transmit signals between the body, the spinal, and the brain. What causes alcoholic neuropathy? The nerves that help your body manage important sensory and motor functions that include the following: bowel and urinary elimination, walking, sexual arousal, arm and leg movement, speech. Alcoholic neuropathy is a result of damage to these nerves. The damage may be the direct result of long periods when you drank too much alcohol. Nutritional problems linked to alcohol use can also damage these nerves. What are the symptoms of alcoholic neuropathy? Alcoholic neuropathy can affect both movement and sensation. Symptoms range from slight discomfort to major disability. Although the condition is not life-threatening, it can decrease your quality of life. Alcoholism and drug addiction is life-threatening. Some areas of the body affected by alcohol include, I'm going to start with arms and legs and break it down. Arms and legs: numbness, tingling and burning, prickly sensations, muscle spasms and cramps, muscle weakness and atrophy, whatever that word is, loss of muscle functioning, movement disorders. Next one is urinary and bowel, and I'll break it down. Constipation, diarrhea, problems with starting urination, feeling that the bladder hasn't completely emptied. Other signs are sexual dysfunctions, impotence, impaired speech, difficulty swallowing, heat intolerance, particularly following exercise, vomiting and nausea, dizziness and lightheadedness. If you have neuropathy symptoms, call your doctor. Early diagnosis and treatment make it more likely that you might be able to recover. Diagnosing alcoholic neuropathy. Your doctor will need to examine you to diagnose this condition. It is important to share any history of alcohol use with your doctor to get an accurate diagnosis. However, your doctor will still need to rule out potential causes for your symptoms. These are some of the tests that identify potential causes of neuropathy. They are as follows: nerve biopsy, nerve conduction tests, upper GI and small bowel series, neurological examinations, electrograms, esophagus testing, kidney, thyroid, and liver function testing. Blood tests can also look for vitamin deficiencies that are linked to both the nerve and the health. Nutrients your doctor might test for include, these are tough words now, so bear with me: niacin, thiamine, folate, vitamins B, vitamins 12, vitamins E, vitamin A, biotin, and pantothenic acid. Treatment for alcohol neuropathy. The most important thing you can do is treat this condition is to stop drinking. That is the key, folks. You stop the drinking and all else hopefully falls into place, and you include God. Therefore, treatment may first focus on problems with alcohol use. For some people, this may require inpatient rehab. Others may be able to stop drinking with outpatient therapy or social support. Once alcohol has been addressed, doctors can focus on neuropathy itself. Symptoms management is important. However, nerve damage can also make it difficult for the person to carry out the functions of daily life. It may even make injuries more likely because your immune system has been damaged, folks. This is a red flag if I haven't seen. You are inviting medical issues with this. That is why I wanted to call this show's title Numb and Numera. When Ralf speaks about alcoholism. I based the title on the movie that just came out, which is also a sequel to other movies, Dumb and Dumbera, when Harry met whatever the other fella's name is. Numb and Numbera is so similar to Dumb and Dumberer, because how dumb are you to continuously drink and do drugs knowing you are inviting these problems, knowing you're inviting tingling and burning, prickly sensations, muscle spasms, muscle weakness, loss of muscle, numbness, knowing you're inviting constipation, diarrhea problems, starting urination, knowing you're inviting sexual dysfunction, impotence, impaired speech, difficulty swallowing, heat intolerance, vomiting, nausea, dizziness, and lightheadedness. You are inviting this by doing this. When you stop the drinking, these things won't just disappear, but it is the road to recovery. It is the road from addiction to recovery, is the healing process. Let the healing begin today, November 15th, 2014. Oh, November 15th, today is my mother's birthday. Happy birthday, Mama. Today is my mother's, I believe, 74th birthday. God bless my mother. Anyway, let the healing start today, November 15th, 2014, and the healing only starts with you. You are the captain of your own vessel. There is not one person on earth that can tell you, or they can tell you, but make you quit drinking and quit doing drugs other than you. If you include God into your decisions, a lot of your decisions will become easier. Do you remember what I just read? This is show 8. And it's based on 31 promises to speak over your life. So I said to you folks that I would make 31 promises to speak over the next 31 shows. Listen to these words. I declare God's dream for my life is coming to pass. It will not be stopped by people, disappointments, or adversities. God has solutions to every problem I will ever face already lined up. The right people and the right breaks are in my future. I will fulfill my destiny. I will fulfill my destiny. This is my declaration. Those words, I will fulfill my destiny. You can fulfill your destiny when it comes to alcoholism, when it comes to drug addiction, when it comes to alcoholic neuropathy. You are the captain of your vessel. You can only be the person to straighten this out. You can only be the person to say, I have a problem. You are the person that has to admit that you have an addiction. Without any of that admittance and decisions by you, it's merely words. Let today, November 15th, 2014, be the first day of the rest of your new alcohol and drug-free life. Let today. It all starts now. There might never ever be a tomorrow for me or for you. There are millions of people that constantly say, not today, I'll think about it, maybe tomorrow. What if you don't have a tomorrow, folks? For that person that just took their last breath somewhere in the world or closed their eyes for the last time, there is no tomorrow. Let's hope, whoever they might be, that they had a chance for change. That they, if they had an addiction, were able to get help. But more importantly, for any human, change starts with God. People's lives do not crumble around them because they know how to handle their lives. People's lives crumble around them because they need guidance and direction from the higher power, which is God. Let today, November 15th, be that first day where you invite God into your life and you say, God, I would not be in this predicament if I had you in my life. Therefore, God, I am asking you today, November 15th, to come into my life, to bring positivity into my home and into my heart, to help me work through this addiction issue that I have with drugs and or alcohols. Guide and direct me, God, for the rest of my life. Guide and direct me, God, for the new chapters in my book of life. No matter what age you are. For every year you're alive, you have already written a chapter in your book of life. In my book of life, I'm up to chapter 53. What are you at? But here's the wonderful thing about God, folks. It does not matter whatever your chapters were prior to today. The reason for that is because if you ask God for guidance and direction and you truly believe that God will help you and you accept Him, He will erase all that happened in the past and will give you a fresh start today, November 15, 2014, to start a whole new life. And part of addiction recovery is to have hope, to have a direction, to have an action plan, and God will give you all of the above. He will give you hope for tomorrow. He will guide you daily, 24 hours at a time, and He will set forth an action plan for the rest of your chapters in your book of life. Two things you need to do, folks, if you're ready to do this, is first admit you have a problem. It's not merely just saying, yeah, I got a problem, and then going back to drink tonight. It is admitting you have a problem that is uncontrollable and unmanageable by you alone. What does that mean? That means if you're an alcoholic or addicted to drugs and you go daily through this, but yet you can't control it, that is called an unmanageable life. If you have relationship issues due to your alcoholism and your drug addiction, that is called an unmanageable life. If you have financial problems or can't keep a job due to your alcoholism and drug addiction, that is called an unmanageable life. So your course of action is to reach up to the higher power and say, God, I cannot control my life, I cannot manage my life, I need help, and I need you to help me. Then starting today, November 15, 2014, you will start seeing changes as time goes on. And they're not changes that you'll immediately see, but they're little changes, and they creep up from every nook and cranny of life. And every month that goes by, year that goes by, you will see changes. Changes on your physical appearance because you're not drinking and doing drugs anymore. Your skin becomes clearer, your eyes become white again. You'll see financial changes because you're not spending the money on alcohol and or drugs. You'll see relationship changes because now your partner is starting to see changes in you. And I hope and pray to God that you're not at a point where your relationships are irreversible or irreparable. But if they're repairable, with the grace of God and your lack of doing drugs and alcohol, this will also come to pass to repair. Out of all those changes, the most important change that you'll see is spiritual change. When you have God in your heart and in your home, everything around you becomes positive. It's like putting a magic potion on your top of your head that shields you from the negativity around you. You'll take anything that's negative and turn it around and make it positive with the grace of God. Because no matter how negative anything in life is, you can find good in it. That's why it's so important, and I say this, and I only started saying this since I became sober and started believing in God, that there is good in anything or anyone. No matter how you feel that that person is, there is good in that person. And that's why I emphasize all of my shows. If you're a person that gets told day after day after day that you're no good, you're worth nothing, wrong. You are special. You are worth everything to a lot of people, but most importantly, you are worth everything to God. God has never created something that's worth nothing. God has never created something that's no good. It is us as humans that have taken our own lives into our own hands and created the unfortunate result of people calling you no good and worth nothing. When you reach out to God, He will turn what other people see as no good and worth nothing as His creation again and worth everything. You are special, no matter how many times someone tells you that you're worth nothing and you're no good and they can't stand you. Don't listen. You are a human, you are a child of God, and you are worth everything. And if you were here right now, in this room with me, not only would I tell you the same thing, but I would love to give you a hug to show that humans do care for each other. When people judge other people like that, most of the time when the judgment comes across is because they have no self-esteem themselves. They have lack of confidence in themselves. You should be able to walk in Manhattan down 34th Street, and when you see a homeless person laying in a box, drunk as anything, still find some good in that person. No matter how down they are, there is still good in that person. As long as that heart is beating, God is still available to this person. As long as that heart has a beat, that person has the opportunity to accept God into their life, has the opportunity to admit they have a drinking and or drug problem. It is up to us, and even you, to be a soldier on this war of drug and alcohol abuse. When you have admitted you have a problem, you've reached out, and we have an action plan in place, it is also your responsibility to do exactly what I'm doing. Not with the videos I'm saying to go out and help others who have a drug and alcohol problem. It is your responsibility to spread the word. It is your responsibility as a good human to help others. Remember, when you help others, you help yourself. When I do these videos, my live interviews, my websites, my social media frenzies, I selfishly do it more for me than for you. And I say that with respect. But it's said with for a reason, because when I help you, I help me. And the same is vice versa for you. Go out and help someone. Tell them how alcohol and drugs are bad. Tell them about God, and tell them about the positive results you will get by eliminating drugs and alcohol and including God in their life. Let today, November 15th, be the first day that you are going to set up an action plan on fighting your addiction. That action plan might include AA and its 12-step program. That action plan might include my methods. That action plan might include an inpatient or outpatient rehab center. Whatever action plan you choose to utilize, and you can choose all three or as many as you want, the end result is the most important objective here, and that is sobriety and living with God. You need to have those two to accomplish your battle with addiction. You will always have an alcohol issue and you will always have a drug issue. The difference is you learn to live with it. Include God daily and admit you have a problem, and that's where it all starts. It starts with an action plan set in place and continuous education day after day after day. There is no sitting around and saying, okay, I'm taking a week off. I take 2 days off a week from doing my videos. On the one day it's Throwback Thursday, where I take an older video and I put it on my social media. But yet on that day I still have an action plan when it comes to my recovery and my addiction battle. It is to get new material for the week to come. And then on Sunday, because I am a motivator, I create a lift me up video, usually 4 to 8 minutes. That lift me up video is to inspire my audience to say, today is Sunday, which should be a fun day. Growing up in Germany, I remember Sunday, no stores were open and it was a day of family. I am a strict believer that it needs to continue. The economy as such has overtaken our lifestyle. The stores being open on Sundays and anything else commercially that's out there on Sundays has overtaken our life. We need to take our life back. Sunday should be a fun day, should be a family day, should be a day of thinking about the future week and working out any mistakes we made in the past week. It starts then. So I take the 2 days off. I take the Thursday for Throwback Thursday and Sunday for the motivation video. But my educating myself continuously happens anywhere from 5 to 8 hours daily, 7 days a week, folks. There is no end when it comes to battling my addiction, because the minute I stop battling is the minute the battle is over. It is the minute where the addiction, which I like to call the devil, will overtake me. Like when I used to play ice hockey, you can have the best defense on the team, but if you don't have an offense to score, you'll never win. All you're doing is defending yourself. Well, in order to live with alcoholism and drug addiction, not only do you have to defend your body from it, but you need to have an offense, an action plan to continuously win the battle. Action plan is the easiest thing to come by with the proper channels. I am here all the time for any text or phone calls. You can text me at 631-599-0218. You can call me at 844-405-HELP. You can email me at clearreform@yahoo.com. That's CLEARREFORM.com. You can go to my websites, www.clearviews.info and www.clearreform.com. You can go on my social networks. Facebook has 2 separate pages. One is Clear Reform, just Clear Reform, and then the other one is clearviews.info. We have an open group with about 550 members now that's called Clear Reform. You can Google, Twitter, Dogpile Dig. It's all out there for you and for us. We are a family, whether related or not. We're not only a family of God, but for some with addictions, we're a family of addictions. We, you and me, are brothers and sisters of the disease called alcoholism, and for some it's called drug addiction, for some it's called both. But we're a family, and as a family, we need to stick together. I need each and every one of you folks to reach out to the next person that is trying to accomplish sobriety and help them. It's like the paper dolls, remember, where they connect the hands? I reach out to you, you take my hand and reach out to the next person and help them. When you go to sleep tonight, because I know when we go to sleep we take our slippers, shoes, and sneakers off and we put them by the edge of our bed usually. I want you to push them under your bed. Just push them under your bed. That way tomorrow morning when you wake up, you'll have to go on your knees to retrieve them. And folks, when you're on your knees, I want you to thank God that He gave you another day on this beautiful earth. For every breath you take, there is someone, somewhere, taking their last breath. For every time you blink your eyes, there is someone closing their eyes for the last time. Thank God that He is allowing you another day on this earth. But be aware, if you're contemplating sobriety, if you're saying maybe tomorrow, for every place on this earth there's somebody taking their last breath and closing their eyes. It might be you. Don't hesitate. Don't wait. Make it happen today. Admit you have a problem. Accept the Lord to help you, and things will change physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, and personally. But it starts with you, and it starts in your home. Help each other. Help your neighbors. Help your friends. More importantly, help yourself. As much as I want to help take your life back, I want you to help someone take their life back. Life is short as it is already. Let's not destroy whatever life we have left with continuous use of alcohol and or drugs. Let's eliminate that in our lives. What is alcoholic neuropathy? That is such a bad disease. What it does, the numbness, the tingling, the prickly sensation, the muscle spasm, the loss of muscle, the movement disorders, the constipation, diarrhea problems, feeling the bladder, sexual dysfunction, impotence, impaired speech, difficulty swallowing, heat intolerance, vomit. The list is on and on and on, folks. What you put into your body, these are the results. And that's just this part of it. We're not even talking about all the other organs that are involved in this. God gave you a vessel, that is your body. It is up to you to maintain that body to His standards. If you are already experiencing this, or you've already, because of your alcohol and or drugs, already compiled in any other medical issue, reach to God now. I do believe in two major things. I believe in angels and I believe in miracles. I do believe that there is an angel watching over any one of us at any given time. But I also believe that your willingness to reach out to God will also possibly create a miracle for whatever medical condition you might have. Possibly will. And you'll never know unless you try. You'll never know the grace of God unless you give Him a chance to show you. If you're going to sit here and look around and see if other people are getting God's blessings, don't. Test God by reaching out to Him. Tell God that your life is uncontrollable, that you cannot even control what you're drinking and smoking anymore. And He will give you a miracle, and the miracle is called, He will help take your life back. And as long as you're breathing, and as long as your eyes are opening and closing, you still have a chance. But the minute that stops, your chapters in your book of life are done. Too late. And that isn't easy ending, isn't it? But it's not so easy for the loved ones that you left behind when you've had every single day and every single chance for change. Every single video that I do is inviting you for change. How many more videos are you going to watch until you really realize that you need help? If I could make one agreement with the whole world, And that agreement was, if I do one more video, that would change the whole world. As long as I don't do another one, I would stop tomorrow, knowing that the world is fixed. But the reason I do these videos day after day after day after day after month after year is to help people like you and me. That's the only reason. I am not a good-looking person to sit in front of a camera and admire myself. I don't speak very well. I am not the best communicator. But what I am is a soldier in this war on drugs and alcohol, and a soldier of God. And that gives me every right to sit here and do this video to help me and you. Accept my generosity to continuously do this. Accept it. Because I expect you to do the same for your brothers and sisters out there. Start today. Remember, a sober today makes for a better tomorrow. And if you believe what I'm telling you in here, it will happen out there. Let the sunshine into your heart and your home, and you will get nothing but positive results, and eliminate the negativity. Avoid the people that are telling you are no good, because I can guarantee you God thinks that you are good. I know you're good. There is good in everyone. It just needs to come to the surface, and that's what I'm here for, to help you take your life back. Thank you, and have a blessed day.